Hey guys, and welcome back. Quickly, thank you for supporting the channel. This run we are going to be doing an NG Plus run, and we're going to be doing it as an archer. And this is a run that I've wanted to do for a little while, and I either knew that it was going to suck or it was going to be great, and I was kind of right on both. Sometimes it's really awesome, and sometimes it is a complete and total nightmare. So the first thing we're going to do though is we're going to take out some of our aggression on this guy who beats us literally every time we start. Now, beating the Grafted Scion does not allow you to live. You still have to jump off the cliff and kind of die the regular way to get down in the tutorial area. But just for pure the fact that this guy just beats all of us up, I just figured I'd knock him out just to see how the archer ran initially. The nice thing is this is a dexterity strength kind of build to use the lion bow from Radahn. So the nice thing about this is, and even the pulley bow right there, still a strength weapon. So the nice thing about this is that I could just respec a strength build that I already had from a while back, and basically I just went around before I even started this and I grabbed the bows that I needed. I already had the Radahn bow, but I went and grabbed the pulley bow for a backup, and then I went and bought, because you can't buy the Radahn arrows, obviously, unless you have Radahn killed. So I had to go and buy all the Radahn arrows that I could, 600 and some is what I bought. That way when I started the new NG Plus run, I started with them. But as you can see, the damage is pretty good off the pulley bow with just the regular arrows. So knock this guy out, and then we're going to step into Limgrave. Alright, and we can go ahead and test our luck a little bit here. And I'm going to go ahead and pop the relic sword out, and that way the mimic tier spawns with the relic sword. So you're going to see that a lot in this run. Whenever I'm using the mimic tier, I'm going to go ahead and I'll switch weapons over. That way when the mimic tier comes out, he comes out with a sword. Now I forget to do it a couple times, but you definitely want him to come out with a sword, because if you need in order to be ranged, right, you need a tank. So I need him to come out with a sword and really keep aggro so that he can stay up on the guy. That way I can do stuff like this, where I can just stay away and fire. And because it's NG Plus, I think I'm starting this run at level 220. I don't think you would ever want to start an archer build from scratch if you're a new player. That's just not smart. It takes to get the talismans and just the gear and the stats and stuff you need to be effective, and to be able to start with a good summon, a maxed out mimic tier. It's just better to do this as NG Plus. So I don't even remember which NG Plus I'm on right now. I think it's, I don't know, this might be a 2 or a 3, I can't remember. But I'm going to trade right there with Margit just to get him out. And then you'll see right here, the lion's bow is not, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's hitting okay. But once we kill Radahn and we can get a second lion's bow on our back, even though we won't upgrade it, just having it there on our back while we use one in our main hand will boost our regular damage by 20%, because that's the bow you need to shoot Radahn's great arrows, which are basically spears. So when after we beat Radahn, and we'll do that, we do it pretty early, that way we can throw it on our back. And what that allows us to do, like I said, is it'll make the bow in our main hand, which is going to be the Radahn bow as well, that's already maxed out, but it'll give it 20% even though the other bow isn't. But you can see we downed Margit pretty easy, not too bad at all. And it's just about the fact that the mimic can just tank it and we stay away. And I actually, my family was talking to me, and I was kind of goofing around with my kids, so I forgot to record the Godric fight. It's no big deal. We've all seen Godric 100 times. It was a good fight, but it is what it is. And then we'll just run over here, grab a piece of the Dectus medallion. I wasn't even going to show the Dectus medallion grabs, But what's cool about this one, the only reason I'm showing it is I kind of Batman my way down. I've never done this before. So I pop over pretty smooth right there. And then this is the part I was talking about. Like, watch this drop down. I clipped both of these edges and it keeps me from getting any fall damage whatsoever. Like, this would usually kill you. But because I clip them both, look at that superhero landing. Just awesome. Absolutely awesome. So we're on to this dude. Usually I punish the Draconic Tree Sentinel with poison, and I just don't worry about it. I'll show you guys when it dies, but I was really curious, like, what kind of damage I could get. And keep in mind, like, we're not rocking a really good version of Radahn's yet. And in this situation, as you can see, like, I got the Mimic even using arrows. Like, I really wanted to see if this could be done with 2 archers. So I'm swapping bows, and he's pretty much just staying on the pulley bow. But it takes a second. But we actually end up doing pretty well. Like, we do pretty well here, actually. And there actually was, when I approached him the first time, there was like a glitch. And he was like stuttering, so I had to like reset him. So this is the second time in, because we couldn't even fight him the first time. Like, he tried to like run at us, and then he just started like, well, run at me, I guess. And he just started like glitching, like he was just shaking like crazy. And like, I took a shot at him, I couldn't even do damage. So I had to like run back nearly to where like where the giants are like firing arrows and stuff at you, in order to get him to actually like properly reset. I thought I was gonna have to restart the game, but I didn't end up having to do that. But now if I would have put the Mimic in this situation, had I used like the sword, like, this fight would be over already. Like, if he had the relic sword, or if he had like the Naga Kibo with the blood build on that's also maxed out from the first time I ran this fight would be over. But I was really just curious. I was willing to take the death if it needed to happen, to see what would happen with 2 archers. So with 2 archers, yeah, the Mimic does die here. Like, he dies right at the end. But all in all, like, we do really well. Like, there's the Mimic goes down right there. And I still have the distance here, you know, about 400 apiece, and he goes down. We can't get into the capital yet because we only have Godric's Remembrance, so we're off to Radahn to get our other bow. And I had to do this. Look at this. Look at this damage. Like, shocking. Radahn's bow melts Radahn. Like, in a second, when Radahn's rain comes down, the damage is hilarious. Like, look at that damage. Like, it just melts him. Like, it absolutely melts him. And this is a great fight for archers because he's got so many guys to fight, he doesn't move around. That's what we encounter so much in this build that's like such a problem. Like, because the only way to be like a good archer is you need a tank. Like, you need somebody in there taking the damage and like giving you the time, because you can't move around. Like, you have to stay stagnant in order to like get your big shots off. But you know, the bad guys are not going to hang out and just like wish you well. So this is a great fight. I was actually looking forward to this fight as the archer, because with all the different people, you can see he just melts right there. Barely gets into phase 2. But with all the people that are there to like tank him, just no big deal. And then this fight, man, the Golden Shade over here in the capital, District 1, this just cracks me up. Like, I could have just like seen what happened, but I really wanted to see again like what would happen with 2 archers. Like, this guy, he moves so slow. It's not like fighting Hoarah Loux later. Like, he moves so slow, and I was just like, man, I wonder what would happen if I just do this with 2 archers. Like, can it be done, or is he gonna like melt the Mimics here? Like, I knew I could like jump back in, but so we're gonna jump over here, and there we go. It's the first time we're gonna be able to throw both of them on. So now we're getting that 20% extra. And gravity magic is sweet. Like, I don't think it really like tells you like how much stuff in the game is really weak to gravity magic, but like, those gravity magic arrows are just amazing. So not only are you getting like the fall damage and stuff, but you're getting the 20% extra for the secondary Radahn bow, and they do gravity magic. So when they hit, they're actually hitting like really, really damn hard. And like, as you can see, like, this is not a challenge. Like, this goes down, he's just the same as Radahn, man. I mean, he doesn't have quite the health, but he's just getting melted. But this is a super easy fight anyway. That usually, I mean, most players will tell you, like, either just stay close to him or, you know, run over to Lorraine of the Lakes and get the electric bolt, like Zeus's bolt, and it's fine. But I was just curious, you know, could 2 archers do it and how it would go out? And it was a walk in the park, man. It was simple. Real simple. And we still don't have any deaths. And here we go. So this is like, I could easily run past her, but like, I was just curious, like, one-on-one, CQC, you can't summon, like, how would this be? And because you're in light load, you can roll so easy. Now, I mean, obviously she hits me there with a little bit of destined death, but I was just curious, you know, how does CQC work with the bow? And it's really not bad for regular shots, but like, even in a second, like, look at this. This is like, that's a regular shot, you know, and you're still taking like a second and a half to fire. And as anybody who plays this game knows, like, in a second and a half, if you're fighting a really good baddie, like, a second and a half and you're gone. So now we're entering into this whole thing where we're mid-game. So it's against Margit. We're going to trade just to get the Mimic out. And it's hard on this one because what I should have done is just let Millennia grab the aggro first. Because when you trade to get a Mimic out, for anybody who's a new player, like, you basically take 2 hits. Because you're taking the hit where you're trading, and then you're taking the hit to your health to call the Mimic. So you really got to make sure that you have the life. And usually if you have 60 vigor, like, you're solid. And most players, by the time that they're getting to this point, Margate here, I mean, they have 60. So you can take the trade, but, you know, for me, I would recommend, like, rolling off to the side a little bit. Wait till you see that first damage pop up from Millennia, and then pop your Mimic tier. That way you don't have to trade. You take a little bit of damage from the Mimic tier like usual, but you won't be trading. Because that can be detrimental. Like, but as you can see, like, another thing where, like, I don't have to worry about the swords. Like, this is a real simple, just dodge the sword a couple times there. He gets me once, but it's no big deal. I mean, he's done anyway. This fight is very much over, and you'll see again, like, the Mimic's got the sword out. So, like, we're fine. Like, and it's just, the damage is amazing. Like, but I'll tell you, like, there's nothing like a glass cannon. And this is what happened. Like, you saw that in the top, right? Like, 0 deaths went to 15 on the fire giant. Like, it was brutal. And I had to, like, I told you this is an NG plus run. So I went back to, like, my NG plus stuff. Like, I went and put my veteran set on. I put my Nagakiba with the bleed on it. Like, I got mad. Like, I was 15 dead. I hadn't died at all. Things were going well. I went 15 deaths on this guy, and I was over it. Like, everybody who watches this channel, like, knows how much I truly hate this dude. Like, he's just absolutely brutal. And I've said it before, like, the damage is horrible, but it's just how big the arena is. Like, I don't want to fight from horseback because, like, this fight's set up for it as far as, like, because of how big the arena is. But FromSoft didn't do anything to, like, help with, like, combat from the horse. So when you're sitting here, like, you just got to stay on him, and you're still going to get hit. Like, I jumped off because I thought he was bouncing out, and then he stepped back. So, like, I ended up just taking a dome right to the head. But when you can get that bleed to proc, so we're already in phase 2. And when you can get that bleed to proc, though, like, bleed is a big deal. Like, I'm going to do a Frost build coming up. I heard that Frost is really good against this guy. So I'm really curious about that. And anybody who's watched this channel for a while has probably seen the mage video where, like, I suffered on this fight, and I eventually, like, proved that you can beat him with, you would think that it'd be really good with ranged. But the arrows weren't doing anything. They just weren't doing anything. He's fine against the gravity magic. And you don't have the time. Like, he doesn't sit still long enough to use the arrows. Whereas, like, with the mage, you can get Night Comet out so quick that it's just like attrition. Like, if you can just wait it out long enough and you can stay relatively calm and just know the fight's going to take a while, you can beat him with Night Comet. But with the arrows, like, that is a different beast. And I'll tell you, like, a lot of guys, you go out there and you'll see these walkthroughs about like, hey, I did this, or I did this, or I did this for archery, and or like, hey, one-shot archery, and you go look at it, and these guys are absolute masochists. Like, archers are masochists. These guys are going out, they're crafting all kinds of stuff, they're popping 7 or 8 different buffs before they even go into a fight, and all that stuff has to be farmed or manufactured through the crafting kit. So like, it's just this agonizing thing of like, if you start to die, you have to then go grind again to get more stuff. Like, as much times as I died, I probably still saved myself time by just eventually like biting the bullet, throwing on the veteran set and the Nagakiba and just finishing this out. Because as you can see, like, I got 9 pots at the bottom, he's got no life. Yeah, the Mimic's dead, but like, there's nothing going on. Like, I haven't been in full control of this fight right now. And I hated to have to like stop doing the archery stuff to do this, because that's what the run's about. And he does give me, like, he's dead, so I already got the credit, but somehow he glitches or something and he gets a firebomb off anyway that nearly kills me. It wouldn't have mattered because he died first, but like, the point being, like, I saved myself so much time by just doing that, because I died like 13 times, you know, as an archer, because I just couldn't get damage. And because the arena is so big, even summoning the Mimic tier didn't do me any good at all, because the Mimic's so slow in there. Like, the Mimic's just a distraction in there. And so he's moving around so much, the Mimic can't get to him. I had to switch over and get it done. So, and when we get to this arena right here, I was curious again, you know, with Bernie tanking, you know, can we do 2 Lion's Bow builds? And so I popped the Mimic with the Lion's Bow this time, and you could see him fire a second ago, like, because look at that damage. Like, they are so weak. They are so weak to gravity magic. And this bow just does so much damage. But again, it's got to be on targets like this that don't move as much. But the big guy doesn't move all that much. The little guy, you know, he doesn't move a ton, but he's got a lot smaller hitbox. So you just got to kind of like trudge through it a little bit. But like, you'll see the Mimic, like, he just dropped like 10% of the life when he hit him. So I mean, you're talking about, this isn't that big of a deal when you got you, the Mimic, and Bernie. Like, Bernie's doing the tank, and once you get the first guy dead and it's just 1-on-3, like, it's a melt fest. But still, I mean, you're talking about, they still have a ton of poise. And the thing about the bow is there's no stagger damage. You aren't staggering anyone with the bow. So it's all about the summon. And it's just brutal to like think that like, if you don't have the right summon, you won't have the right openings in order to actually go at these guys. So like, I'm familiar enough with the game that I can play around with it and throw the Mimic in there and just see if I can do it with 2 bows or whatever, because if not, I know that I can do it if I bring the Mimic in with the Nagakiba instead. But then you're hot swapping, right? And like, new players, they don't really want to hot swap, you know, because you're just learning the game. You don't want to take off your bows and the Nagakiba and then add the Nagakiba, summon the guy, have to put the bows back on and like refamiliarize yourself. Like, that, it's a real thing, like I said before, like, where you really, if you're going to do a bow build, you definitely want to do it as an NG plus build, because you definitely want that first time or second time or third time of going through the game and truly understanding the fight mechanics, truly understanding like how to switch between weapons when you need it, how to switch between pots quickly so that you can heal, or you can get your mana, or you can pop your physic when you need to. Like, this is, I would never say that the archery build is a first time out build. It's just not possible for that. But we're doing good. Like, other than the fire giant, we did okay. And now we're going to get a reality check. Like, this is going to get brutal with Maliketh. The first time we go out, man, we're doing good, actually. This is the first time. Mimic's dead, but we don't have a whole lot. It's just that, like, we can't step back and get the shots. And that's the best we do for, like, a long time. Like, getting into phase 2, like, on the first try is the best we do for a long time. Because then we're going to step into, like I said, Maliketh's greatest hits. Like, I'm getting to where, like, just getting the Mimic out, I'm taking too much damage trying to get the Mimic out and get out of the way. And then we run into, like, other problems as well. Like, the mimics literally just popped up, I'm already dead. So the second time around, third or fourth time around, he pushes us off the thing, which I had never had happen before. I never had him push me off, like, consecutively like that. Because, like, I go in here, he pushes me off again. Like, I think maybe once or twice I've fallen off by, like, just not, like, paying attention to, like, where my footing is. But it was brutal. Like, and then right here, I take a hit. I can't even get the mimic off because I take a hit from the Draconic Tree Sentinel outside. And so I'm already down. The mimics goes, and by the time I get the mimic out, it's over. Like, I'm 2-shot and we're done. So at this point, like, I'm starting to feel it. Like, I'm starting to feel it. And so it's really becomes this thing of like, okay, well, maybe it's me. Like, maybe it's me. And we'll just see, like, what we can do. So I'm like, screw it. Like, we'll just go do other stuff. Like, I need because at this point, like, I'm so beaten down, right? Because I did the fire giant and I got just destroyed over and over again for a long time. And then I did the duo, and it was, you know, one try, but like a ton of work. And then I'm just getting beat with Maliketh. So I'm like, okay, let's just go do Raya Lucaria. They're weak to, believe it or not, magic. The dog is weak to magic, so that, you know, I got gravity magic, that'll help. And she's weak to piercing damage. So if I can get the mimic tier out with the Nagakiba, like, this should be a walk in the park. And like I said, I just kind of needed the pick me up. So we just run over to the college real quick. And I think the whole thing, like, I think we did like a 10 or 12 minute Raya Lucaria. Simply because we did die once to Moongram. And it was, you'll see it here in a second. It's completely my fault. Like, completely my fault. I just wasn't paying attention to my life whatsoever. I was watching his. And, like, had I healed when he went to heal, like, I'd have been fine. But it was just one of those things to where, like, it was just me. Like, I was frustrated after the fire giant and after Maliketh. And I just wasn't paying attention. Like I said, I was just watching his life. But we just pop up the stairs here real quick. This is a really easy place to just run past everything. And, there we go. So we just pop that. We get out of the way. He actually doesn't hit us, which is interesting. Like, I take the hit from, like, summoning the mimic, but I actually don't trade, and I was kind of prepared for that. But he just stood right there, and, I mean, this is all she wrote. I mean, this is one of the easiest fights I think I've ever done. Like, that's it. Like, that's the whole fight. Like, I really didn't need to speed that up that much. Like, the fight took so little amount of time that the Burger King guy on the outside was still there. Like, he hadn't despawned or, like, reset yet because the fight went so quick. So here's, like, I got Moongram dead to rights, man. But look, I'm not paying attention to my life, and he just gets me. Like, he just gets me. If I would have rolled or popped, popped some life potion, like, I'd have been fine. But he just gets me, and there's no shame. Like I said, I was just frustrated. I kind of laughed that one off. Like, that was actually kind of funny to me because, like, I was like, damn, like, like, it's one of those things where, like serious villains, like the Fire Giant and, like, Maliketh had, like, put me down to where, like, and Moongram hits hard, though. I mean, that's a thing, like, right? Like, other streamers will tell you, like, you know, can Moongram parry it? Like, they'll see what they can get away with because, like, he hits like a truck, and he's got a ton of damage. But on the second time out, you know, we're just trying to get away to get heals. And we get it right there, and then it's just off to the races. You know, I put the Nagakiba on because you can't use arrows in here. Like, there's no way. It's just such a small area, and you don't have the time. Like I said before, you know, if it takes you a second to a second and a half to shoot an arrow, like, you're not shooting arrows at Moongram. Like, there's no way. You might get one off before he takes off at you, but there's just no way to, like, consistently be able to fire. And if you can't consistently fire, like, you're dead as an archer. So, like, it's good to have that secondary and be able to just switch over to that. That's the other reason I said, you know, like, Energy Plus is really good for that because you already have the weaponry and it should already be upgraded. So you have something you can swap to. So, like, I can just run through here real quick. They're all, for some reason, they were all, like, right together this time. I thought that was awesome. Like, super easy. And you know, we drop her in Haha like in no time. Like, that's just amazing how quick she goes down. And then because we got the Nagakiba out, you know, we go ahead and just pop the Mimic, and we actually avoid that. And like, I forgot all about it. The fact that she fires that off, because usually you want to dodge that, then summon your Spirit Ash. But I'd forgotten all about it. I just luckily did it. But what I found out right here is like, Radahn's arrows, like, they knock her down. Like, they legitimately like knock her on the ground. And so you can actually interrupt her by just literally just knocking her on the ground with those arrows. And I mean, you're talking about maybe an 8 to 10 minute Raya Lucaria because I died. I mean, you could take off 45 seconds for the run back if I would have beaten Moongrim the first time. And then again, like, I'm just seeing, like, Loretta, super easy boss. You know, this is the boss you fight when you're like having a rough day and you're like, man, I just need a pick me up. So, you know, we went over to Loretta, and I put us both on Archer. Like, again, I just kind of wanted to see what's gonna. As much as she jumps around, I was like, you know, maybe it actually would be better to just have 2 Archers rather than, like, you know, you usually come in here and your Mimics usually, like, you know, most people come in here and they're melee, so like you have 2 melee and it goes really quick. But I'm like, you know what, just because she jumps around so much, I just wonder what it would be like if we had 2 Archers. And you can just see, like, the damage is just insane when it hits. But like I said, the downfall being they have to hold still, which they're not gonna do. Like, bad guys most of the time are not gonna hold still, so you got to deal with that. But we get through it. It's fine. And when they do hold still, like you see, it melts them. So we talk to Ronnie. We take a little drive down to the lands beneath. Knock out the Mimic. And then we're back off to the races. Running over, we're gonna grab that knife for Ronnie for the optional but mandated quest. And I think I said it in another video, but like, you cannot pick this up. It will not let you open the chest if you haven't talked to Ronnie first. So like, talk to Ronnie before you come down here, because you absolutely have to. It just won't let you do anything. And by the way, guys, we're like almost a half hour into this video. This video is almost an hour long. So if you're still with me at this point, I just want to say thanks. Like, there's a lot of guys you can watch. I'm sure you watch a ton of them. I watch a ton of them. I'm big on YouTube and streamers and watching gaming and everything. So if you're still with me, like a half hour in, I mean, much thanks, man. Because you could watch anybody do this. Comments, likes, subscribes are always awesome. But honestly, if you're with me this far in, like, just a big thanks, because you've devoted real time to this. Like, you could be watching a TV show, you could be doing other stuff. So whatever you're doing, if you're a half hour into this video and you're still with me, I truly appreciate it. Appreciate all the subs, all the likes, all the comments, because like I said, you could watch anybody. You're watching me. This is just something I do for fun. I don't make money off of this. You know, I'm not a big streamer. This is just something I do to kind of like give me some normalcy. So I just want to say thank you. And now we're back to Maliketh, and this time, like, I just kind of got to the point where I was like, I need friends. Like, I'm just not getting it done. Like, I need people to tank. But I'm taking too much damage trying to summon the Mimic. So, like, let's just get some other guys. And you can see, like, we're in phase 2 already. This fight's done. And Maliketh's a really good fight that, like, if you need to get people, like, 'cause you can usually get through phase 1. But phase 2 gets so erratic, especially for new players. Like, I still struggle with this. And it's just really cool to, like, be able to, like, do this, like, summon people. And, like, and I truly mean this, like, if you're like a diehard, like, FromSoft player, and like you think that it's like wrong to use the summons or like grab buddies and stuff, like, that's cool. Like, you can, the cool thing about this game is you can play however you want. But I will say this, the reason there are summons in the game, and the reason that there is a multiplayer summon location outside every boss fight, is because they want you to use it. And I said this before, and I'm going to live and die by this. They want you to use it, and especially you see that with Night Rain. Like, Night Rain, you're playing with 3 people. That's just how it's done. And so it's a cool way to get camaraderie. And like I said, if you're trying to do cool builds like I am, where like you wouldn't want to, I've tried this, you know, over and over again, you know, you just can't get it done with an archery build without like doing all that farming and all that nonsense. And here's another problem right here, though. You'll see it right here, is that sometimes with the archery build, it just doesn't, it was unselect. Like, so like when I fired that up, it like fired it where I was because like it had unselected him. And I can't figure that out. It happens a couple times when I'm doing the runs, but as you can see, like you just need somebody to step in and be the shield for you. That way you can step back and do the damage. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all wrong with that. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm also probably one of the only people who play this game like so much that will tell you that like Gideon's no joke. Like he's a glass cannon like we are. And I thought, hey, you know what? We'll try something new. We'll summon the boys. They're halfway upgraded. Let's just see what happens. And I didn't pay attention to the fact that like it takes so much to summon them. But those rings, the boys are gone. Look at that. They are absolutely annihilated. So it's one of those things to where like you really got to play with it, you know what I mean? Because like when you're an archer, like you need somebody taking the damage so that you can do range stuff. And I don't know what this guy, I mean this one last guy, like he's the best of the best, but I mean Gideon just hits really hard. I mean look at that life disappear when he hits me right there. Like I mean he's no joke. He doesn't have much life, but he hits like a railgun. And there's just no, I mean at this point I kind of like made the decision I was just gonna like let him kill me, because like I know that I just can't get away. Like he's got forever magic, so like let's just redo it the right way. Like I said, I just wanted to try something new because I'd been using the Mimic. So I was like, you know, we'll just switch over to the Gangbusters and see how they do. And they did fine. I mean, really, for only being halfway upgraded. I mean, the one lasted more than half the fight, but it's just one of those things where, you know, we're just going to switch out here, put the Nagakiba on, and that way when we go in here, we summon the Mimic with the Nagakiba, and we're good to go. And by the way, if you're one of the people that puts messages down in front of boss doors and stuff, like, truly, I hope you stub your toe. Like, that's so annoying when you're trying to loot something or trying to get into a boss fight and some jerk put a message down, like, right in the way. Like, I truly hope that you step on a Lego and, like, stub your toe, because that is just awful. But anyway, so we're back over here, and as you can see, like, when I clipped the thing right there, but like once the Mimic grabs him, like look at the damage I can do. But like if you count it, watch. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3. So 3 seconds. It takes 3 seconds to fire one of Radahn's arrows. So like you have to, 1, make sure you're hitting. You can't afford to miss. And 2, you have to make sure that you have the time where you're not getting hit. Because for, you know, guys like the Fire Giant or even Gideon, like 3 seconds? If I told you you could only damage him every 3 seconds, most people never play that. Like you never play that. But by having the Mimic over there, rocking the Nagakiba, staying on top of him, I mean, no big deal. No big deal at all. And so, Hoarah Loux, you know, always kind of a tricky fight. Especially in, well, mostly in phase 2. But then when the Mimic dies right there, like, I don't know if we can do it at this point. You know, I'm kind of like trudging back and forth, like, man, I don't know how to create distance. And I know that I can just, you know, hot swap and put the Nagakiba on and finish him, but I'm like, but that's not what the run's about. And I'm already feeling like super like trashy because I had already like did that to get through the Fire Giant, which is like such a terrible fight. Like the fight's awful and it's just out of the way. So I already felt bad that I like had swapped over. But I just couldn't do it. Like, I was just like, we're just going to live and die by the bow. Like, that's just how it's going to be. So we take an L. It's not the last one we're going to take. Like, honestly, the bow is terrific until you get to the Fire Giant. And then after that, if you summon people to help you, like, it's still good. Like, it will always be good as long as you have multiplayer. Or the right Spirit Ash. Because, like I said, you have to have somebody taking the damage so you have the time. Because as you can see, like 3 seconds to fire an arrow, no way in hell. In a FromSoft game, no. That wouldn't fly in a regular like Ubisoft game. But in a FromSoft game, no way. You don't have 3 seconds to give up. But we tried a couple times, you know, because it can't, like, obviously, like, it could be done. If you have the spacing right, if you can get enough damage, that's what I'm trying to do right there, is get enough damage early before the Mimic gets in. But the thing, too, is, like, it's not enough that the arrows rain down. I figured this out. Like, the arrows do a lot of damage. But just like you would imagine, like, the physics to this is really good. They did really good with it. Like, the further you shoot from away, the less damage they do. Just like, you know, in an actual scenario. Like, if you pull a bow back and shot a guy 2 feet from you, it's going to hurt a lot more than shooting that guy from, like, 25 feet away. Because the arrow is losing momentum. So, like, that's when I started to realize, like, okay, well, here's the problem, right? Is that, like, I have the mana, I have the life, but I don't have the spacing, because in order to get enough spacing to fire arrows, then the arrows aren't doing the damage they need to do. So that's when you have to, like, bring in friends, and they can be spirit summons, they can be other players. But when you get far enough away, like, it's truly like what you know, you get what you pay for, right? Because the further you get away to make it easier on you, the less damage they do. So you actually are making it harder on yourself. So you have to stay close enough to get damage, or to do damage, but far enough away to not take damage. And with a bow, and somewhere between a 1.5 to 3 second firing, like, it's a lot different. So we gotta make our space real quick. And then 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. It's 4 to 5 Mississippis. Like, it's 4 to 5 seconds from the time that you set up for Radahn's rain before the arrows are actually going to connect. So if you got, you know, 2 to 3 seconds to shoot regular, and you got 4 to 5 seconds to shoot special, like, there's no way to do it on your own. Like, for a regular player. Now, don't get me wrong. There are guys that live and breathe this game, and they're going to tell you, like, go out there, farm all these things, pop them before your fight, make sure you're wearing this gear, these talismans. There's going to be, like, 3 things you need to pop. You're going to need to hot swap, and then you can, like, 1 or 2 shot bosses. I mean, no. Absolutely not. Like, I'm not making videos for the guy who, like, lives and breathes this game. Like, I'm making videos for this game because I have legitimately struggled with it. Like, I have had a lot of hard time. I'm not the best player in the world by any means whatsoever. And I make videos for the guy who, like, plays leisurely, who works 2 jobs, has a family, taking care of the house, mowing the yard, and just wants to, like, play some Elden Ring, but not be, like, overly stressed out and not be stuck forever. Like, that's who I'm making videos for. So I don't care if people, like, mention in the comments, like, oh, he's using spirit summons, oh, he's using other players. You're damn right he is. Like, if FromSoft didn't want me to use them, they wouldn't put the summon locations there. Because I don't have, like, forever to just play these games and be amazing at them, where I can beat this game 6 or 7 times in a week. Like, I'm playing this game, I'm putting up a video every, like, 2 weeks because it takes me a while to get through it because I have a life. Like, I'm making videos for you guys because I enjoy it. If they ever make money, that's a separate situation. But I'm making videos for the guy who literally plays like I do, where you don't have much time, but you love video games. And how can you enjoy a video game that's considered one of the hardest games ever made, but is also, like, so unique and it's so well done? That's who I make videos for. That's who I want to make the game easier for. I'm not here to, like, guilt you into say, oh, you have to use spirit summons or you have to use friends. Like, that's not what we're here to do. Like, we're here to, like, build up, not tear down. And so I put stuff like this in, like Fire Giant's greatest hits on the mage build was amazing. Like, all the little TVs. Like, or Maliketh's greatest hits on this run. You know, now you're watching the top 10 for for Radahn in the Elden Beast, because I struggled. I tried it with people, I tried it without. If you remember if you watched the mage build, you saw that like I melted Radahn the first time, but I just couldn't. I wasn't able to keep enough magic to get through Elden Beast, so I summoned some people. Like, I don't have any shame in the fact that, like, in order to do this game, to do it justice, to do it right, to have fun with it, and to make it fun for other people, which is the biggest thing, is to make sure that you guys enjoy it. Like, I will do whatever it takes to get through the game. Because if you're like me, when you're working or you're just chilling at the end of the day, and you want to watch somebody play Elden Ring, you don't really care how they're getting it done. You just kind of want to watch some Elden Ring. Like, you just kind of you want to go out there and either want to know that somebody else is suffering alongside of you, or you want to watch somebody go in and put a spanking on the lands between for all the all the psychological damage they've done to you as you die over and over again all the time. And I'll tell you, man, it's crazy to think like how quick you can become pretty decent at this game. Like, but I'm not out there to be the best. I'm not out there to be a speedrun guy. I'm not out there to like be the guy that's like, oh well, we need to make the game harder. Like, I'll leave that to guys like just the other streamers like Traneth and Tulok and Mango, because they just play at that level. Like, they're just on a different level. I'm not on that level. So when I want to pick me up, I watch them, and it gets me kind of humble when they struggle. But when I want to like see how I need to do it, like how works my play style, because I don't have all the time in the world to sit there and like become the best of the game before I put up a video. Like, I struggled with it a long time. Do I want to put up videos because I get help and I use spirit summons? Do I want to take on like the negative comments, stuff like that? And then I was like, you know what? Of course I do, because somebody out there like me is struggling. Somebody out there like me doesn't have 50 hours a week to beat the game. But we just had fun together. We spent over 40 minutes together, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I loved it. And as always, we're going to close the video out with my favorite fight in the game, which is Mohg. Like, I just truly love this fight so much. It's such a throwback to, when Xbox and PlayStation and PC were really breaking out and doing new stuff and doing games with, upper graphics and stuff like that. And, I'm 37 years old. My first game system was Nintendo NS when it was new. So to see like how far it's come is crazy, and to be able to like go in and fight Mohg, and it's like similar to playing like Yoshi's World when you fight Bowser at the end, and it's just real linear. It's so cool. It's such a throwback, and I thought that was so fitting to like getting to the DLC. Now, I don't cover DLC. It's not that I don't play it or it's just that that's not for me. Like, I want you guys to like. I make videos for new Elden Ring players. New Elden Ring players are not playing the DLC. So will I cover the DLC at some point? Maybe. I'm definitely going to be covering Night Rain. But I just want people to be able to come in and enjoy it. And it was so cool to me that in order to get to the DLC, you have to go through Mohg, because you do all this other stuff that's so new, and it's so cool, and it's so inventive, and it's changed the video game world forever with what Elden Ring does. It's so cool to me that in order to get to the DLC, the last thing you have to do is you have to do this super linear, like really easy moveset, throwback boss, if you will, like to when gaming first really took off. It's so cool to me that they did that. I don't know if they did it on purpose or by accident, but it's so cool. So again, we're at 45 minutes or so right now. Like, you guys are just the best. The only things left, we're going to knock out Mohg, and then I'm going to show you like where there's a secret seed, golden seed. It's the only one in the game that's not on the tree. I'm going to show you where that is, and then we're going to call it. But truly, guys, like, if you're with me at this point, if you followed me this far, please hit like, please hit subscribe, throw me a comment up, make it nice, make it shitty, I don't really care. Like, if you watched it this long, comment whatever the hell you want, because I appreciate your time. Whether or not you liked the video is less important to me. The fact that you were willing to give me your time is what matters. And give me a chuckle, give me a like. I'll keep putting up videos because it's just fun. I think that you guys are enjoying it. I'm absolutely enjoying it. you know, I'm Elden Ring for life. So like, even comment like maybe some runs you might want me to try. But I think we're gonna do Frost soon. I think we're gonna do Whips soon, maybe. I'm not really sure, but we're getting into summer, which is a really busy time for me. So the videos might, you know, end up being, you know, staying at this like every 2 weeks or so, or maybe a little bit longer. But if I can't put up full walkthrough videos, I might put up some instructional videos. I got some in the back that I have not posted. They're just sitting, you know, in my inventory that I can post whenever as filler. So, but honestly, guys, it's so much fun. I hope you enjoy it. And this is the Moog fight. It's super easy. He's really weak to gravity damage. So, you know, we just meld him. And had he not had a phase 2, like, we'd have been fine. But, you know, we just chugged through it. I actually stopped going to even get the shackle. And I stopped going and getting the tier for this because honestly, if you're using the summons right, you don't need the shackle. He's not going to get to you during phase 1 anyway. And the tier, as long as you have, you know, 3 flasks that you can chug, it's fine. Like, it's not that big a deal. But just seriously, it's pop your summon and step back. It's really simple. There you go. Super fun. My favorite boss in the game. That's why we're finishing in that way. But yeah, like, we're wrapping up now, and this was it was balanced. You know what I mean? It was really balanced. It was equal parts challenging. So we're just gonna pop that to get all those guys' attention real quick because we want that somber stone. But it was equal parts challenging and fun, and you know, it's one of those builds that, like, if you really like multiplayer and you like summoning people and like having a blast with like other players, like, it's a really cool build for an NG Plus run. It really is.
Got it.
And you can have so much fun with it by like watching 2 guys with big ass weapons just lay a beat down while you step back and get to not only enjoy the fight but drop serious damage. So here's where that golden seed is, by the way.
The weirdest golden seed in the game that's not even on a tree. Don't even know why it's here, but there it is.
Yep, and there's voiceover, Chris. And I killed this because I just wondered what it did. It doesn't do anything. You don't get anything special for it. But anyway, close this video out like we usually close it out. So I'll go ahead and show you what this build ended up being. And there we go. So that's where we're at. 68 vigor. Just enough mind to do what you need to do. Endurance is good because you're light load. Strength and dex are cranked all the way. Pretty simple stuff. Enough faith that you can use the relic sword for the mimic if you need to. I appreciate it, guys. Like and subscribe. I'll see you soon.